the beginning of my career, I looked to some of my favorite writers, like Lisa Gardner and Tanvi Hogue, as inspiration to become a better writer. But now, 10 years later, it's my readers who motivate me. I want every book to be just as good as the last.
Some of the writers who have inspired me to write and continue to inspire me today are Gina Apostol, Maxine Hong Kingston, Jessica Hagedorn, Toni Morrison, Nicole Chung, Paisley Rechtel, and Jhumpa Lahiri.
The inspiration for Swallow comes from my mother's generation of women who endured unspeakable sufferings through war and social turmoil. They remind me of water. It molds itself to the shape of the riverbed. No matter how rough the terrain, they just adapt, sustain, and survive.
Who inspires me to write? Women do. My friends, my fellow writers, Brazilian contemporary, women writers especially.
Beverly Cleary has influenced me throughout my life. First as a child, reading the Ramona books, where I saw myself reflected in Ramona and all her flaws. Later, as a parent, reading those same books to my children and learning a lot about parenting. And once again, as an author, where through her work I've learned to write about children and childhood with dignity, respect, and honesty.
I was inspired to write my book, An American Covenant, by multiple feminist mystics in America who've written books that took incredibly creative approaches to fueling progressive change. And also and always, I've been inspired by the great Joan Didion, who manages to write nonfiction that feels far bigger than the sum of its parts, and in that feels magic.
The women writers who inspire me are Curtis Sittenfeld. I love everything she writes. It's so authentic and real. I also love Gabrielle Zevin. Her writing is just so interesting and quirky, and my entire childhood was filled up by Judy Blume.
The person who most inspires me to write is my co-author and my sister Leslie. You're my favorite writer, and the one that I hope to emulate every time that I sit down to write.
Funny you should say that, because you inspire me to write as well. Your willingness to pour yourself into every page to make sure that it's right inspires me daily. Want to hug it out?
Yeah.